The world had no choice but to take notice of Adam Lambert when he first came to the attention of the public on American Idol in 2009. His voice was so loud and his energy was so captivating that it was impossible for anyone to ignore him. Not only did he sing, but he also exploded with emotion. His vocal fireworks combined the drama of glam rock with the precision of pop music. However, in addition to that, something else was taking place. Lambert was gently, and then aggressively, reinventing what queer visibility could look like in mainstream American entertainment. 14 years later, Lambert has surpassed the label of reality TV singer. In addition to being a creative shapeshifter and a passionately outspoken advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, he is universally recognized as a rock icon. A remarkable example of self-acceptance and resiliency has emerged in the form of the young person who came in second place on American Idol. Moreover, in a world that is still struggling with the fear and censorship of LGBT people, he continues to remind us that individuality is not the same thing as rebellion. Rather, it is emancipation. I enjoy the fact that I am not like everyone else. Whenever Lambert discusses queerness, his radiance shines brightly through the screen. In an interview that took place not too long ago with USA Today, he stated, "I like not being like everybody else. I enjoy discovering who I am as an individual. The fact that I am queer has provided me with a certain level of purpose and drive in my professional life. I want to demonstrate that queer people are valid, that they can be successful, that they can connect with others, and that they deserve every chance that our straight peers experience." Having that belief is difficult to avoid feeling. Because of the fights he has already waged, whether it be on stage, in tabloids, or within himself, Lambert exudes an air of self-assurance that infuses his presence. He is now 41 years old, but his career shines brightly like a newly cut gem. He has toured the world as the frontman for Queen, he has appeared as a guest on Glee, he has established his own LGBTQ+ non-profit organization, the Feel Something Foundation, and he has even made his debut in the film industry with Fairyland, which is praised for its emotionally sensitive portrayal of queer father-son relationships. That is not a bad thing for someone who, according to his recollections, spent his early 20s being really awkward. "At the time, I wasn't fully owning it," he adds with a chuckle. "And now it's like, okay, yeah, what are we doing?" When it comes out, twice over. For the first time, Lambert came out in private when he was 18 years old. However, America witnessed his second coming out on American Idol, which was neither staged nor scheduled. He adds, "I was comfortable with but I quickly realized, oh, I need to talk about it because people are guessing." He says this at the beginning of the sentence. "When I thought about coming out, it was almost like an afterthought." During the tournament, photographs of him kissing an ex-boyfriend appeared, and the press immediately began to fabricate stories about the incident. On the other hand, Lambert maintains that Idol itself was unquestionably supportive. Nevertheless, he was able to feel that homophobia, the type that was subtle and institutional, was lurking just off stage. He has been wondering for a long time whether or not it caused him to lose the Idol championship. It was fortunate that his family had previously established a culture of acceptance about him. After they had watched a play in which a son comes out of his parents, Lambert's mother once confronted him directly about his orientation when they were watching the performance. When he thinks back on it, the door flung open. "We were able to relive my childhood and laugh about everything that happened at that time. Because I was acting like a sissy about it, I'm grateful that she broke the ice by saying that she did." The moment when laughter triumphed over dread became a symbol of the kind of world that Lambert envisions. A world in which the truth is perceived as more light-hearted than secrecy. As a queer child growing up, discovering the light. Before he even had the vocabulary to express it, Lambert, like many other queer young people, internalized his guilt. As he confesses, "It was very difficult for me to find. I was unsure of how I was feeling at the time. Because of all the resources that are available to young people now, such as social media and information, it is a completely different ballgame. I am really glad for modern young people." A significant portion of his advocacy is driven by the generational divide. 20 years ago, it would have been unimaginable for young people who identify as LGBTQ+ to embrace labels, flexibility, and pride. He sees this happening today. However, he is also aware of the pushback, which includes anti-drag bills, legislation known as "Don't Say Gay," and politicians that use identification as a weapon in order to win votes. According to Lambert, the most peculiar thing is that people act as if queerness is contagious. He states this while shaking his head dramatically. "One of the things that gets under my skin is when they talk about a gay agenda. Helping others feel comfortable being themselves is the main goal we have in mind. Do not be so hard on yourself. Be happy and not miserable. Make sure you don't walk down a dark path. There is a ray of light hiding within you." Beyond the gay agenda, the actual mission of the company. The concept of activism, according to Lambert, is not founded on wrath, but rather on empathy. Happiness is the most important thing, he explains. It is on the agenda that you are fine. Although it is a straightforward idea, it is one that can be heard throughout his songs, from the uncompromising choruses, like as "What I Want From Me" to the powerful glamour of superpower. Every song resounds with the spirit of individuality that is unabashed. He observes the changes that have taken place in society. "When I first came out and was trying to establish myself as an artist, I came before who I was as an artist. It has become increasingly commonplace, and I absolutely adore that." Lambert opened the way for younger LGBT artists such as Lil Nas X, Sam Smith, and Troye Sivan. Gilbert was a pioneer in the field. "They are not required to apologize," he asserts with a haughty tone. "They are unavoidable." An impulsive kiss that rocked the American Music Awards. It goes without saying that Lambert's journey has not been devoid of wounds. During his performance at the American Music Awards in 2009, only a few short months after his victory on American Idol, he unexpectedly kissed his male guitarist while he was on stage. The way he describes it, "It just kind of happened. It was a hasty decision. It wasn't anything I had intended on doing." Rapid retaliation was the result. There were elements of the performance that were banned by ABC. Appearances were cancelled by networks, and tabloids referred to him as controversial. Suddenly, Lambert found himself at a crossroads where art and fury confronted each other. He freely confesses, "That is what got me into trouble. As a result, I was unable to take advantage of several possibilities that had been set up for me. I didn't understand it at the time, but I found out later that others had distanced themselves from me." In retrospect, the so-called scandal appears to be completely ludicrous. Rock stars who are male have been seen kissing female fans or smashing instruments on television without facing any consequences. The crime that Lambert committed was as simple as being queer on his own terms. Nevertheless, that period of time turned out to be a crucible, a test that hardened his will to be exactly who he is. Rebirth through the medium of music. Lambert did not want to seem old. Instead, he increased his focus on artistic craft. In his first album, titled For Your Entertainment, he pushed the boundaries of genres by combining elements of glam rock, dance pop, and operatic drama in a blaze of theatricality. After that, he released Trespassing, 2012, which was lauded by Rolling Stone as the first major pop album by an openly gay musician to reach #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. He provided a melody to queerness through songs such as Outlaws of Love and Cuckoo, which served as a soundtrack for anyone who has ever experienced feelings of being too much, too different, or too loud. Following that, he entered into an alliance with Queen. Standing in the shadow of Freddie Mercury may have been intimidating for some people, but Lambert turned it into a moment of onness. There was an interview in which he stated, "It felt cosmic. There was a long history of queerness and performance, and I was about to enter it. There is no need to apologize for the fact that Queen and Adam Lambert have been able to sell out arenas all over the world, demonstrating that rock credibility and flamboyance are not mutually exclusive." The Feel Something Foundation is a community-building organization. In 2019, Lambert established the Feel Something Foundation, a non-profit that directs financial resources toward activities aimed at preventing homelessness, promoting mental health for LGBTQ+ individuals and educating the public. He says, "I wanted to give back to the community that had such a major impact on my life." The moniker originates from his tune Feel Something, which was released in 2019 and is a heartfelt ballad about regaining empathy after experiencing numbness. As Lambert explains, it's all about having empathy. When you are queer, you may find that you have to learn to suppress your feelings in order to survive. However, life is about experiencing everything, including the joy, the agony, and the color. From this perspective, activism is transformed into an extension of artistic expression. His music has the power to boost soul, and his charity helps to protect lives. In addition to the new culture wars, drag bans. Because state legislatures all throughout the United States are passing laws that prohibit drag shows, Lambert's irritation is reaching a boiling point. In a straightforward manner, he asserts, the drag ban thing is the stupidest waste of energy. There are a great many other things that our nation ought to be concentrating on, such as assisting people and protecting people. For Lambert, drag is not merely a kind of entertainment. Rather, it is an expression that is a combination of theater, revolt, and pure delight. In his emphasis, he says, it's art. To outlaw it is to outlaw creativity in and of itself. He establishes a connection between the assault on drag acts and broader anti-LGBTQ legislation, which specifically targets the transgender community. Now is the time for us to exert more effort, he adds. It is more significant than any of us. We have a responsibility to safeguard those who are most vulnerable to assault. Lambert frequently makes use of his social media platforms to bring attention to drag performers and trans voices, thereby reminding his audience that allyship is not a choice, but rather a requirement. What the power of performance can do for you. Every time Lambert takes the stage, regardless of whether it is a modest pride event or a stadium with Queen, he is not merely performing. Rather, he is capturing the essence of freedom. His soaring voice, rhinestone jackets, and glam eyeliner are all weapons that he uses to fight against conformity. Fans frequently recount instances in which his self-assurance inspired them to take action, such as the teenager who came out as gay after listening to What I Want From Me, or the parent who had a greater understanding of their child after attending a Queen plus Lambert event. These are the kinds of movements that music has the potential to spark. When I think about that kid who is afraid to be themselves, says Lambert on the subject, if my performance can even for a moment make them feel as like they are being seen, then that is everything. Homophobia and the reflection of reputation. In a peculiar manner, fame has the ability to amplify bias. Executives who referred to him as too theatrical, networks that were unwilling to book him, and journalists who focused more on his eyeliner than his voice are some examples of the overt and subtle forms of homophobia that Lambert has seen during his career. The statement that he makes is that I was learning in real time how far the world had not come. On the other hand, whenever someone attempted to confine me, I became more vocal. The act of defiance resulted in artistic creation. The visual style of Lambert, which was a combination of Bowie, Prince, and Hollywood Gothic, began to be seen as armor rather than concealment. The fact that he was even there in popular pop music was a form of rebellion. With an eye toward the future, a legacy of light. Currently, Lambert's self-assurance appears to be effortless. It is not as a provocateur that he speaks. Rather, he is a pioneer who has already witnessed the storm and made the decision to dance in it. Even in the face of legislative retreat, he does not lose hope. He says, "We've made too much progress to go back," and he is sure of it. Being visible is important. It is important to have empathy. Art is important. The projects that he is currently working on combine artistic expression and political engagement. These include new music that celebrates queer love without using euphemisms or codes, collaborations with up-and-coming LGBTQ+ artists, and mentorship programs supported by his foundation. Besides being remembered for his voice, Lambert hopes that he will also be remembered for the spaces that he helped open. In his reflections, he says, "If there is one thing that my career has taught me, it is that you can be who you are and still have a place at the table. You might have to put up a struggle to get it, but it will be well worth it. The narrative of how Adam Lambert went from being a finalist on American Idol to being an international icon is one of fire and dedication. In front of billions of people, he has kissed millions of people, and he has stood up in the face of hatred. His orientation is not a side note. Rather, it is the melody that runs through each and every song of his existence. An anthem of light is offered by Lambert in a culture that is still divided by fear. He encourages people to be genuine, to not apologize, and most importantly, to feel something.